Shalom, shalom. I want to start by saying, Call Allah, Yahawah, BAHASHAM, YAHAWASHI, BAHASHAM, Kakadash. Double honor to the Apostle of Israel, aka the Apostle of Great Millstone, and peace and love to all the Akim. Continue to preach the truth and all truth and sincerity. All right, real quick, I'm going to make this real quick. So, came across this article a brother posted from, this is from the Business Insider. What the fuck? Business Insider. And this is actually from a couple of days ago, June 5th. But it says, Putin said Russia could send long-range weapons around the world to those who want to strike Western facilities. Now, cold word, what does it mean when he says Western facilities? That means what? American facilities. Because remember, this is biblical prophecy that's coming to pass that we're seeing. You know, this is Gog and Magog, the daughter of Babylon, the Joel, the 3rd chapter. When we talk about prepare war, these are all the things, Matthew the 24th chapter, these are all the things that the Lord spoke about. These are all the things that YAHAWASHI actually spoke about. And I'm going to get that scripture because this is actually literally what's happening. Shalom, shalom. This is literally what's happening. Wars and rumors of wars, Matthew 24:6. Okay? So it says, Putin said Russia could send long-range weapons around the world to those who want to strike Western facilities. Because what does this entail of? You got Babylon, the 50th chapter, that got to come to pass. Jeremiah, the 50th chapter, Jeremiah, the 51st chapter. We're talking about the archers, long-range missiles, or long-range weapons. These are all things leading to Yahawashi's return. Okay? So, I'm going to read the article real quick. It's not that long article, so hold it. I use a thumbnail, too, for the video, but boom. So now you can check that out. It's right there. And you got next week, Russia is sending a nuclear submarine, whatever, tank to Cuba, Havana, on next Wednesday, June 12th. And it says what? It says amid U.S. tensions with the U.S., America. So what do people think this is somehow just going to stop? Nah, this is going to continue and continue until Yahushua returns. But getting to this article, so it says Russian President Vladimir Putin said on Wednesday that he could send long-range weapons to regions around the world wanting to strike Western targets after the U.S. and its allies authorized Ukrainian strikes with their arms on Russian soil. So what? After they authorize people to be able to attack them, they get on some shit. Well, let's get on our shit because what? Russia's a superpower as well. Okay. It says, speaking to international journalists in St. Petersburg, Putin said the new firing agreement between Kiev and major NATO members indicated the alliance's direct involvement in the war against the Russian Federation. He added that Moscow reserved the right to act the same way. So what? They're being on a retaliation stage. Here it is. People acting like Russia is not no small potatoes. Russia is the superpower on the other side of the world of Esau's kingdom. And they just said, well, we have the right to act the same way. So they're doing exactly what America's doing. America, NATO, they're ganging up against them. So they're saying, what, we're gonna rally our troops and rally up people abroad that have problems with y'all. And there's plenty of those to go around, there's plenty of people that have problems with America and NATO and all that shit. And you're gonna have fight within NATO. Because remember, the Lord said what? The beast shall hate the whore, and the whore is America, the daughter of Babylon. Revelation, the 19th chapter. When Yahushua comes back and say, judge that whore. That whore is talking about America. So they said, if they consider it possible to supply such weapons to the combat zone to launch strikes on our territory and create problems for us, why don't we have the right to supply weapons of the same class to some regions of the world where they can be used to launch strikes on sensitive facilities of the country that do it to Russia? He said. That's a good point. Why don't he have the right to do the same? Why doesn't he have the right? Why they got to be all like everybody coming against them and they just gonna sit idly by and just let the whole world gang up on NATO and the U.S. gang up on them? Here it is. The reason what they're doing to Ukraine is because Ukraine is in that region, and they didn't want to fall in line with what they wanted to do. They wanted to get down with NATO. Ukraine got down with NATO. So ever since 2022. They've been bombing them. And that's exactly what the Lord said was going to happen. Wars and rumors of wars. Because now you have war. You have wars happening. You have wars taking place. And you have rumors of more wars. Of the same wars, but intensifying and more people being added. More countries being added. Because he said the region that want to... let me read that again. It says... This is what Putin had to say about what America and NATO is doing as far as supplying Ukraine and people, the other countries against Russia. So he says... If they consider it possible to supply such weapons to the combat zone to launch strikes on our territory and create problems for us, why don't we have the right to supply weapons of the same class to some regions of the world where they can be used to launch strikes on sensitive facilities of the countries that do it to Russia, he said. So it means that he's saying, why don't we have the right to retaliate against y'all for what y'all doing to us the same way? Remember what's the term they use now? Exchange energies. Keep that same energy, give you the same energy. So it says, Putin said this response could be asymmetric, but didn't say which organizations or governments could receive such weapons from the Kremlin. That word asymmetric means unproportionate, which means it could be without measure, which means they're going to do it as much as they can. You know what I'm saying? And this is biblical prophecy. This is the actual wars that Yahawashi was talking about. These very wars, these very people, Esau, Edom, Ishmael, Moab, Amalek, because being the head Edomites, the daughter of Babylon, first and foremost, the daughter of Babylon, which is America, where all the nations and all the world is going to send shit over here, send the fire arrows over here, fire arrows. So he says, he claimed without evidence that Western nations supplying long-range arms to Ukraine were also deploying personnel to direct and aim munitions fired by said weapons. The U.S. has said it doesn't keep track of specific targets hit by Ukraine, but you're supplying Ukraine. Who's been the one giving Ukraine the most assistance? It's been America. So now you're gonna say that you don't keep track on specific targets hit by Ukraine. You don't keep track, but you sending them shits, you sending them money, sending them military aid, but you don't want to keep track. So Russia is like, all right, keep that same energy. We're gonna start to do the same. And you got more people against America than against Russia. We don't keep track. The U.S. said has said it doesn't keep track of specific targets hit by Ukraine. So you're just giving them weapons, giving them bombs, and they just do whatever, right? That's the same thing they're doing with Amalek and Israel. We're going to keep supplying you. Do what you want. And you don't think Russia and Putin, everybody, the whole world knows that you're the ones assisting them. Y'all put it all on the news. Everybody exposes their hand for the most part. And it's a lot of things that they don't expose. There's a lot of things we don't know what's going on. You know what I mean? But just as far as what we know that America is supplying Israel and Ukraine with all this military aid. Billions of dollars still. And you got Biden that just, I don't know if it was today or yesterday, but you had Biden talking to the fucking fuckhead Zelensky of Ukraine, the president of Ukraine, talking about apologizing for the delay in the president assistance. I don't know if they said it to him, but it was a delay from the Republicans in Congress that were basically stopping the aid. But America's already sent them billions of dollars. And you're doing that. Remember, the Lord said what? Yahawah BAHASHAM YAHAWASHI, you're doing this all for your own destruction. Y'all doing all this, and all it's going to do is simply getting closer to Yahawah's return. But continuing on in the article, says, we're not just in position on a day-to-day basis of knowing exactly what the Ukrainians are firing at what. The White House National Security spokesman John Kirby said on Wednesday, it's certainly at a tactical level. Hold on, what? Check this out. He said, we're just not in a position on a day-to-day basis of knowing exactly what the Ukrainians are firing at what. The White House National Security spokesman John Kirby said on Wednesday, it's certainly at a tactical level. So you're not keeping track of the people you're sending weapons to, but you're telling where you could shoot it at, though, but you're not keeping track. First and foremost, what does it even have to do with you? I mean, obviously we know why they're doing it, but if you talk about from just a regular standpoint, it's like, what the fuck does Ukraine have to do with America? All the way over there. That's the backhand. That's the stuff we don't know about. But we know what? We know that the Lord, Yahawah BAHASHAM YAHAWASHI, is gathering the nations. We know that Yahawah BAHASHAM YAHAWASHI is working on the minds of the kings. We know that. So we know this is all Yahawah BAHASHAM YAHAWASHI is doing. Who else? Working on the minds of the kings, because Yahawah say, well, Yahawah is doing it. They said. Yahawah said, have the keys to hell and death. That's our God. There's no other God. There's no other God speaking up. There's no other God saying, no, this is my prophecy. No, it's the Lord's prophecy. Yahawah's prophecy through his son Yahawashi. Okay? It says Putin's comments Putin's comments come just days after Washington and Berlin reversed their long-standing policies and allowed Kiev to launch strikes with American and German weapons. Other major allies supplying Ukraine, including the UK and France, had already authorized such strikes. So that means that Russia, in Russia's mind, from this article saying, so Russia knows that, all right, so now we're against the UK and France because in Germany, because they're sending Ukraine weapons against us. And these are all the same parties in the first couple world wars, well, the first two world wars. All these parties were involved. I don't know about the Ukraine though, but you got Germany, France, Russia, America. These are all people that almost went to war in the 60s, they went to war in the 40s, in the 1900s, early 1900s. This is history repeating itself. But this go around, this is going to be the war to end all wars. So it says, but President Biden has only permitted Ukraine to fire on military targets in Russian regions bordering the northeastern region of Kharkiv. But my thing is this: if that's the case, if you're saying that you're telling where they could bomb, but you already sent them the missiles, so they could do that shit, they could shoot that shit wherever they want, technically. If that's like saying, right, you give somebody a gun and you be like, yeah, you can't go to such and such blah blah neighborhood. But you give them the gun, they can go wherever the fuck they want. If you're not keeping tabs on it, just said they're not keeping track. And that's it, and you see the mind fucking they trying to do. Oh, they're gonna send the weapons, but we're saying where you can shoot them, but we're not keeping track on where they actually shoot it. So what the fuck are you telling where they can shoot for if you're not keeping track? And if you're not gonna stop sending them weapons anyway? See, you see how the fucking devil is, man? Slick fucking tongue. That's why YAHAWASHI gonna cut out your fucking mouth. You lying bastards, every single one of y'all. All y'all a bunch of liars. All you Edomites are liars, man. And it said Russian forces early last month launched a renewed assault on Kharkiv, and Ukraine has said it knew the Kremlin was massing gear and troops in nearby Belgorod, but couldn't do anything about it because of targeting restrictions. Oh, but the targeting restrictions. Oh, so you was being careful when you targeted, right? But it says, apart from the area restrictions, the U.S. has also prohibited Ukraine from launching ATACMS missiles on Russian soil. According to the Kiel Institute for the World Economy, Europe and the U.S. have supplied more than 95% of all military aid to Ukraine since Russia's full-scale invasion of Ukraine, which was in 2022. That's where the billions of dollars came into play. Billions of dollars are whose tax or whose money? Is it the taxpayers' money? Where's all this money coming from? You got American citizens that's dire broke right now. And here it is, you got the American government sending another 2 countries, and who knows what other shit they doing, because he got their hands in everything, because they helping Taiwan as well. But you can focus on Ukraine and Israel alone, Amalek alone. Amalek is Ukraine too. They've been sending them billions of dollars, and it's only been, from 2 years from the Russian-Ukraine and October 7th of last year for the small hats. They've been sending them billions of dollars already, while the American citizens are just forced to thug it out. Tell me how that makes sense. Here, you sending Ukraine and you sending Israel fucking billions of dollars, hundreds of billions of dollars, and telling us they're doing it, while you telling us over here, hey, just thug it out. And the prices of shit is increasing. The wages are not. Cost of living is going up the roof. People are losing their homes. People are in dire straits right here in America, while the American government is just sending these bastards billions of dollars. Oh no, this is not going to end well for none of y'all. Yahawah BAHASHAM YAHAWASHI has declared it. He's going to destroy you. And it's all this fighting y'all doing is leading up to that great day. And it says the U.S. sent, now this is about to be in the article soon, so it says the U.S. sent Ukraine about $47 billion in military aid between February 2022 and February 2024, per the Kiel Institute. Now that's money that could help the whole fucking American economy. What did Tupac say? They got money for war but can't feed the poor? You got all this money to send over there for this war, but here it is, you got people in the fucking very soil known as America struggling like a motherfucker. I'm talking about struggling like a motherfucker. Damn near everybody's struggling in some form of fashion, and in some way there's a struggle or there's a worry of financial situations. But they got the money to send these bastards It said that's just to the Ukraine. It says $47 billion. You know what you could do with $1 billion? You know what you could do with $1 billion? And you send to Ukraine 47 of them? While the American people are just forced to look at you, just do it, and look at all this bullshit and be like, damn, they just sending them more money. While we just here. But that's how you know that America just done. America's done. America's about to be destroyed. There's no more. That's why they just sending them money to all this war shit. Because now we're in a time of war. There's no more time of prosperity for America. Okay, so verse. The last sentence, it says, a new package initially delayed by Congress this year contained about $25 billion more in equipment and another $17 billion in other funding for other military purposes, according to a tally by the Center for Strategic International Studies. So, if you sent them $47 billion, another $25 billion was delayed, but you did it, and more equipment and another $17 billion. Let's do that math. Hold on. Let's do that math. What is it? 47 billion, right? So 47 plus 25 plus 17. That's $89 billion. $89 billion that they sent to the Ukraine alone from 2022 to 2024. $89 billion. $89 billion fucking dollars. They sent over there. And that's just the Ukraine. So now let's get into these let's get into the scriptures. Well, one scripture I'm gonna bring out because where you at? Matthew 24, verse 6. Okay. Matter of fact, I'm going to start at verse 3, and it reads, so this is Matthew chapter 24, verse 3. It says, and as he sat upon the Mount of Olives, the disciples came unto him privately, saying, tell us when shall these things be, and what shall be the sign of thy coming and the end of the world? End of the world. Where's the end of the world? Go to second edge of the 6th chapter, the 9th verse. It says, what? Esau at the end of the world. What are the parting of times asunder? What are the parting asunder of the times? When is Esau gonna get taken out of rulership? Because remember, at this time, this is the Roman Empire. Esau was ruling at this time. So they basically asked YAHAWASHI, they asked him, so what should be the sign of thy coming and the end of the world? And I'm gonna jump down to verse 6. And it says, and ye shall hear of wars and rumors of wars. See that ye be not troubled, for all these things must come to pass, but the end is not yet. Right? So you shall hear wars and rumors of wars. They didn't hear that back then. He said, but the end is not yet. So at that time, the end wasn't there. Because at this time, they're talking about when he comes back. After the way he did as far as the cross. So now we're in that time where now the end is close. And it says, verse 7, it says, for nation shall rise against nation, and kingdom against kingdom, and there shall be famines and pestilences and earthquakes in diverse places. So we have all of that. You have all that covered. Earthquakes, famines, pestilences. You got the fucking cicadas. They had these fucking spiders just hit not too long, like a couple days ago. Earthquakes. You had earthquakes in diverse places. You had an earthquake right here in New Jersey a couple months ago. You remember you got the signs in the heavens as well. And it says, verse 8, it says, all these are the beginning of sorrows. Verse 9, it says, then shall they deliver you up to be afflicted, and shall kill you, and ye shall be hated of all nations for my name's sake. Now that's what's coming as well. It happened in the Roman Empire too, but that's coming again. It said they shall bring some of you to the magistrates. That's these higher up governments, the elites. But that's when the Lord said, what? Take no thought what ye shall say, because the Lord is going to put what you're going to say at that moment. But he said, for my name's sake, Yahawah BAHASHAM YAHAWASHI's sake, that's the true names of the Lord, the Father and the Son. And those are the names they're being pushed by his men. They're actual names. They come what? In the name of Yahawah BAHASHAM YAHAWASHI. The name that's dreadful among the heathen, by the way. And it says, verse 10, it says, and then shall many be offended and shall betray one another and shall hate one another. And many false prophets shall rise and shall deceive many. Because you have, that goes to these false camps, these Israelites, that's not preaching the name of Yahweh, BAHASHAM, YAHAWASHI, and that's preaching other things, that's preaching man doctrines, man. That's what apostles get on these niggas, man, because you're not preaching the truth. And you got betrayals happening. You got all this stuff happening. This is what Yahweh, this is red letter. This is red letter. That's Yahawah's words out of his own mouth when he was on the earth. All right. Verse 12, and it says, and because iniquity shall abound, the love of many shall wax cold. And you see that now happening too. The love of many waxing cold. There's not much love. It's a bunch of fucking foul shit going on in this earth right now, especially here in the daughter of Babylon, aka America. Look at the people in power. Look at all that, even though it's all set up bullshit sometimes, but look how much division it is in this world and in this country. The love of many waxing cold. Look, you got people killing their family members. You got all this shit happening, man. And this is all biblical prophecy. This is what Yahweh said out of his own mouth. And the Lord is what? The Lord is, he cannot lie. The Lord said what? Yahweh said what? He comes to do his Father's business. So this is all from Yahweh himself to Yahweh, his ultimate servant, his only begotten son, the first spirit that he created. Verse 13, it says, but he that shall endure unto the end, the same shall be saved. So that's why you have to pray for the spirit from Yahweh BAHASHAM YAHAWASHI, because that's the east, from Yahweh BAHASHAM YAHAWASHI, for that spirit to endure to the end. To see these things and still keep the faith in Yahweh BAHASHAM YAHAWASHI. It's a struggle. It's a hard battle. But you have to continue to fight. Fight the good fight. Fight the good fight for faith. Of faith. Keep the faith in Yahweh BAHASHAM YAHAWASHI, knowing that these things must come to pass. And that you don't get weighed, don't get weary. Okay, in verse 14 it says, and this gospel of the kingdom shall be preached in all the world for a witness unto all nations. So all throughout the four corners. Because remember, Israel scattered across the four corners as well. But the prophets are prophesying on the internet, and this is going throughout all the earth. The name Yahweh BAHASHAM YAHAWASHI has gone throughout the whole earth. And then he said what? So I'm going to read that again. So it says, and this gospel, this truth of the kingdom, with the kingdom to come, Yahawah's kingdom, shall be preached in all the world for a witness unto all nations. So Israel and all the other nations, 2/3 and all the other nations that don't believe and don't follow this. And it says, and then shall the end come. And that's where we're at right now. Then shall the end come. And that's where we're at right now, approaching. Where's that at? Where's that at? Actually, this whole chapter is good, but I'm gonna end it with this. I'm gonna jump right down to this. I'm gonna jump down to verse 27 and read. So this is Matthew 24 and 27. It says, for as the lightning cometh out of the east and shineth even unto the west, so shall also the coming of the Son of Man be. So what? Yahweh is going to come from the east, right? Son of Man shall be. And it says, yeah. So, okay, because kingdom in verse 28 says, for wheresoever the carcass is, there will the eagles be gathered also. It's gonna be a lot of dead bodies out here. And it says, verse 29, it says, immediately after the tribulation of those days shall the sun be darkened, and the moon shall not give her light, and the stars shall fall from heaven, and the powers of the heaven shall be shaken, right? So during all this war, after all this war stuff, all these things happening, sun being darkened, moon being darkened, then look what's going to happen. And a good thing that ties to this is 2nd Esdras, the 13th chapter, because it talks about the nations fighting. And it says what? In verse 30, it says, and then shall appear the sign of the Son of Man in heaven, who is Yahawah, and then shall all the tribes of the earth mourn, and they shall see the Son of Man coming in the clouds of heaven with power and great glory. So this is when the world sees Yahawah. This is when every eye shall see him. Revelation 1 and 7. And it says, verse 31, it says, and he shall send his angels with a great sound of a trumpet, and they shall gather together his elect from the four winds, from one end of heaven to the other. So that's during the destruction. The Lord is going to gather his elect. The angels are going to gather the elect and the chariots. It says it's going to come from the clouds. It said YAHAWASHI is going to descend from the clouds in plenty of scriptures, man. The Son of Man, he's always descending. Because remember, he ascended up, but then he's going to descend back down to what? The earth. He's going to come back down to earth with great power and great glory from his Father, Yahweh. And that's what's about to happen. And that's what all this war shit, all these storms, and everything happening on earth right now is leading up to that very great day, that very, very moment. YAHAWASHI's return. That's what they asked him. The signs of the end of the world. The end of what world? Esau's world. 2nd Esdras 6 and 9. For Esau's the end of the world is this world that we're talking about. Is this world the angel was talking about to Esdras. Talk about YAHAWASHI's return. And it's approaching. Each day that passes is getting closer to that day. Those wars and rumors of wars, the kingdoms against kingdoms, all that's going to continue until the very end, up till YAHAWASHI's return. That's it. So, with that, Lord willing, this is edifying. I'm going to give all praises to Yahweh, BAHASHAM, YAHAWASHI, BAHASHAM, Kakadash. Double honors to the Apostle of Israel, a.k.a. the Apostle of Great Millstone, and peace and love to all the Akim. Continue to preach the truth and all truth sincerity. Shalom.